What is going on, Culture Changers? Welcome back to the Culture Changers podcast. Actually, today's the first one, so welcome to the Culture Changers podcast. I appreciate you guys for coming and listening or watching this if you're watching it on YouTube. Obviously, last night the news came out that Chadwick Boseman passed away, unfortunately, due to colon cancer. He was at stage 4 and he had been battling it for 4 years. That is very unfortunate news. He was a great actor, a great person. Everything that I was seeing on social media just seemed like we lost a really good person in this world. I saw an article that was saying that he had gone and visited a younger girl who was in the hospital dealing with cancer, and he had been with it for 4 years himself, and nobody even knew about it, or very little people did. It was very tragic to hear that last night. Obviously, 2020 has been a rough year. We've had Kobe Bryant, Pop Smoke, Juice World, other influential people have passed away over the course of this previous year. Then we had the coronavirus that's obviously still going on. And then we had the BLM movement, the Black Lives Matter movement. Obviously, that's a really big deal. We're constantly dealing with cops that are shooting innocent people that are not armed, that aren't dangerous, and they're killing them or they're wounding them. And honestly, it just needs to stop. And I wanted to use this as a platform to kind of talk about that. If you read the description of this channel, it's to talk about some of the current things going on in the world. And this is very current and this is very happening. And, obviously it just needs to stop. We need, our cops to be trained to the point where, hey, are they dangerous? Okay, then we need to do something about it. But we don't need to just go and start shooting these innocent people. We need to actually make a difference in this world as far as keeping our citizens safe. That's what, the police officer's job is to do. And obviously, when you're going out there shooting innocent people that, you think may have a weapon, but you don't know. And I understand it's for the officers' protection also, but obviously these officers are outnumbering these innocent people and they're geared up to deal with these things. They have protective vests, they have weapons, they have, just all these different things, right? And it's just like you're in our community trying to keep us safe and, you're going out there just shooting innocent bystanders, right? So obviously we need to make that change. Obviously, I feel like if you're not with the movement, you're against it. And that's honestly an issue. That's not how we grow in this world, in our society. And we need to become better. It's been a continuation of time from the civil rights movements and everything like that. It's just like, let's just move forward and progress. Everyone's just a person. They're trying to make it just like everyone else. Let's give everybody the equal and fair opportunity that they deserve. And it's just time that we move forward with that. And I want to transition to that or with that by talking about how these professional athletes are taking the time to use their platform now to finally stand up for these things that are going on. And you saw that games were being, I don't know what the word is, but the teams weren't showing up to the games for the NBA. And they're pretty much protesting the games, just saying like, hey, we're not going to play in honor of everything that's going on in the country right now. And then I think you had other sports teams, they were like canceling their practices or they were just taking a day off or whatever it was, just to kind of show that like, hey, we're trying to raise awareness. You'll see other teams are trying to like actively be at the forefront of this issue and talk about this issue. And that's great. You love to see that. Obviously, these teams and players and owners and all that have this platform to talk and reach out to a community of people and raise awareness and, show that they care and are trying to help. So that's pretty big. I think you'll see a lot. I don't know what is going to come out of it with the NFL. A lot of players say that the owners and front office staff they feel is racist or whatever. I mean, obviously the NFL has that issue where they have a lot of high level executives that are one race, and a lot of the coaching at the NFL level is one race, and they're trying to do different things to bring in diversity, which is something that I actually love about being a Browns fan. Is I feel like that organization has always tried to bring diversity in and show that they're trying and willing and caring about making a change in the NFL. Granted, has it worked out for the best? Maybe not, but at least they're trying, and they're trying to make a difference and trying to be a leader in something and be in the forefront of something and show like, hey, this is possible. We can do this, right? And right now, the general manager for the Browns is Andrew Berry. He's a black male, and I think he's doing a great job so far leading the team and building the team. Obviously, we're going to have to see in the future what happens, but, that is that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was the college football, pretty much, or really college sports really being played in the fall. Obviously, I think it's big for the athletes if they can play. Obviously, they're putting their risk at or their health at risk by playing and trying to stay safe with the coronavirus going on. A lot of these major leagues, sports leagues, have done a great job of doing so. But how can you really ask these college athletes to play when some schools aren't really even allowing regular students to come onto their campus, right? And it's just, you look at it, it's like, okay, well, there's the monetary value for the NCAA to have their players play, right? And obviously the players aren't getting paid for that, at least not yet. They should be in the near future. But at the same time, it's just like, it's good for entertainment value, but it's like, are we going to put people's health at risk for our entertainment value? And it's just like, we shouldn't be doing that. So you see that the Big Ten and the Pac-12, I believe, they both canceled their fall sports, and we're trying to move it into either like later winter or early spring. And now you see the Big Ten is really trying to kind of push back again. It was really like coaches and players parents were pushing back, and they're trying to get the football season moved back up into October. I'm sure if they wanted or tried or could get it to September, they would try. But I think October is really a good bet. But at the same time, you're just dealing with, can those major schools go ahead and actually play for the college football playoff if they were one of the 4 teams that were fortunate enough to make it? And unfortunately, you're probably not going to be seeing that, which is, it sucks because it's just like these players are putting it all on the line to try and have as good of a season or perfect season as they can to be able to make it into that college football playoff. And they just might not be rewarded with it. Now, at the same time, it is giving like redshirt sophomores, juniors, and seniors the opportunity to play in front of talent evaluators and get their name out there for the draft. Because as you see, a lot of times there is players whose stock rises drastically in their last year of playing college football, aka Joe Burrow, who was maybe a 5th or 6th round pick at best, ended up being the first overall pick in this last year's draft. So it's just something that you got to keep your eye on, something that it's just it's worth noting. We just got to see what happens here in the future. Other than that, I think that, everything that's going on in this world, obviously, everyone has to be a factor in trying to make it better and seeing what we can do as a group, as a community, as a nation to better ourselves, better our surroundings. Obviously, with the coronavirus, the biggest thing is staying socially distant of about 6 feet or more if you possibly can, wearing your masks when you go out in public, washing your hands, staying inside when you have to, or like pretty much until you need to go out. Like just stay inside. Like there's no point in risking it. With the Black Lives Matter, obviously there's plenty of places that you can make donations to. So obviously if you can do that, if you can go to protest and protest that, go ahead and do that. Obviously in this fall, we have a presidential election coming up. So we're going to want to go ahead and vote and, pick the best president that it is for our country. No matter who it is, we got to pick the best president it is for our country moving forward. So that way, as a country, we can just, come back to really when America was good and thriving and it wasn't having these issues. And we just need someone who understands the people that is in this country and allow them to grow as our leader. And then obviously, like I mentioned at the beginning of the year, we've had a lot of influential people leave us this past year. That's unfortunate. It happens. Everybody's time comes one way or another. So hopefully, just keep loving and praying for all the people that you love out there and making a difference. I appreciate you guys for tuning into this podcast. By listening to this podcast, interacting, you guys are going to become culture changers. Please leave any comments down below. I feel free to discuss down there. I'm always happy to talk with people and get their opinions on things. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also turn on that notification bell to be able to get notified whenever my posts go live. I appreciate you for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one.